Hi, everybody. On this issue of authoritarian versus engaged leadership, I came upon something that I want to share. Okay, I found an article in the Tampa Bay Times called "The Movement to Reopen Florida Has Been Somewhat Subdued. Why is that?" It's dated May 10th. What I saw in here, there's a constant far right. This is far right, Tea Party. There's definitely a categorization going on, categorizing this movement, if you will, as far right. They reference a far right group that they credit with being behind the Tea Party called Freedom Works. And they said that Freedom Works did a governor's report card. So I wanted to see that. This is a really good document. I will post a link in the description and encourage you to look at it. If you read the Tampa Bay Times article first, you're going to assume that this is a fringe, crazy, right-wing, has nothing to offer kind of a group. But if you read this thing, it's not. I mean, the group may be far right, but this report and their thinking is far from it. Let me just read you a couple paragraphs from the middle of this. We believe that every governor is making a good faith effort to weigh the risks of the health of their citizens versus the economic well-being of their state. No governor wants to impoverish their citizens. No government wants to see any of their citizens get ill or even die. In this study, we don't get into the motives of governors. We assume their motives are pure. But these decisions they are making today will have long-lasting consequences for the economic opportunities and the prosperity of their citizens for many years to come. We also flatly reject the claim made in the media and by some politicians that governors that want to open up their states for business are putting greed, profit, and business over saving lives. This is and has always been a false narrative. The reality is that there are very negative health consequences to economic lockdowns and stay-at-home orders. In contrast to the left, if you will, some politicians and governors, the ones that want to open up, are being said that they're putting greed, profits, and business over saving us. So their motives are being questioned. This group is saying we don't question their motive. We just believe they're wrong. We don't believe that they're bad people. We just believe that they don't have the right ideas. How do we respond? How do we respond to this? How about stop treating everyone like an extremist? How about if you think you have friends that are wrong, if you have friends that are buying into some conspiracy theory. Now, I've seen articles written by psychologists talking about you may have to just break relationships forever. They're talking because these people are putting everyone at risk by their ideas. That's not what the United States was built on. We're allowed to have different opinions. We're allowed to have different ideas. And even this effort to squash misinformation, if you watch my videos, the mainstream media is responsible for all sorts of misinformation from the federal government. And had they done a better job all along, people's expectations would have been better set to what happened, and this would be much less. So the mainstream media is contributing to this. They're part of the problem because all we hear is bad models, bad data. They said 1 million deaths. They had, and that's not what the White House task force was saying. That's not it at all. But that was the expectation people had. That's the information that people are using. And now they're saying, well, what explains this? They told us all these bad things were going to happen. It was all wrong. Okay, they got this from mainstream media that it was all wrong. So now people are searching for an answer. What explains this? Well, I can tell you what's not wrong and what's not fake is all the harm that I'm seeing done to the economy and my 401k and all the 30 million people out of work. That's real. That's not some scientific model. I don't need someone telling me about that. That is real. I see that playing. 100% of the people in the United States are living and seeing that, even if they're not affected directly. Not very many Americans saw firsthand or lived through any sort of a crisis during this lockdown. Unless you were in New York City or in Detroit, and even a handful of hospitals in those locations, you didn't see it. You saw anecdotal, firsthand accounts of a few people, and that is all. The expectations that people had, what happened was exactly what Fauci and Burke said they wanted to do with the lockdown. It was supposed to prevent all these terrible things from happening. But that's not the way it was reported. So now we get here and people say, well, wait a minute. Nothing bad happened. This isn't bad. So were we lied? Yeah, you were lied to. You weren't lied to by the scientists. You were lied to by the media. They did not report this properly. So here we are. What we told was going to be bad wasn't bad, and what they told us was the solution is really bad. What's going on here? Well, that feeds into all the conspiracy theories. That feeds into all this stuff. Now, all the mainstream press and the people on the left are going, well, these people watch Fox News and they're crazy right-wing extremists. They're stupid and we need to unfriend them. And do you see this? Do you see what's happening here? These are not people to be dismissed. These are real people with real life concerns. Yes, there are extremists in them, but if somebody has a bad idea, if somebody you think has the wrong ideas, you try to counter that with other ideas. You don't counter them by insulting them. So how should we respond to this? Stop putting people down. Stop saying, I have one idea, they have another idea, so they're bad people. Stop defending your own ideas by calling the other people stupid or crazy or blaming Fox News, because I'm telling you, the mainstream media played into this. They contributed this. They set this up. The governors, the authoritarian governors, are bringing it all home. And you want to sit there and blame people for trying to defend their way of life, for having ideas and say, I think we got lied to. I think that we need to turn this economy back on. How about this? How about listening? How about listening to what people are trying to say? If you have friends and this is how they feel, how about listening to what they have to say and being empathetic? And if you feel there needs to be a correction, then you correct them. How about being patient? How about being kind? All right, well, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Give me a like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you again soon. God bless.